On April 24, 1980, Operation Eagle Claw fails in its attempt to rescue American hostages in Iran.
But why were Americans being held in Iran? And what went wrong with this rescue mission?
In February 1979, the Shah of Iran was overthrown during the Iranian Revolution. A theocracy was established with the Ayatollah Khomeini becoming the nation's supreme leader. Iranian students began protesting outside the U.S. Embassy in Tehran after the U.S. allowed the ousted Shah to travel to the United States for cancer treatment. On November 4, 1979, the students seized control of the embassy and took 66 people hostage. The Ayatollah then took over the situation and released all but 52 of the hostages. U.S. President Jimmy Carter made repeated attempts to resolve the crisis diplomatically, without success. More than 5 months into the crisis, Carter approved Operation Eagle Claw in an attempt to rescue the hostages. During the multi-pronged operation, 3 of 8 helicopters failed, crippling the plan. The mission was then aborted at the staging area in Iran, but during the withdrawal, one of the retreating helicopters collided with one of the 6 transport planes, killing 8 servicemen and injuring 5 others. The next day, a somber President Carter gave a press conference in which he took full responsibility for the tragedy. This failed rescue attempt did Carter no favors in his 1980 re-election bid against Ronald Reagan, who won in a landslide, earning 489 of 538 electoral votes. In his final weeks as president, Carter worked tirelessly to get the hostages released. As a final insult to Carter, Iran released the 52 remaining hostages moments after Reagan was sworn in as U.S. president on January 20, 1981. They had been held for 444 days. Carter did, however, fly to West Germany the next day to greet the liberated Americans on their way home. Here are other events that happened today in history. In 1800, U.S. President John Adams establishes the Library of Congress, today the world's largest. In 1916, the Irish Republican Brotherhood launches the Easter Rebellion, an uprising against British rule. In 1942, singer and 2-time Oscar-winning actress Barbra Streisand is born in Brooklyn, New York. In 1953, Winston Churchill, who guided Britain through World War II, is knighted by Queen Elizabeth II. In 1955, the week-long Bandung Conference of 29 non-aligned African and Asian nations ends. In 1996, the Penguins defeat the Capitals in a 139-minute 4-overtime marathon playoff game. In 2024, it is announced that former USC running back Reggie Bush's 2005 Heisman Trophy will be reinstated. And now it's time for our Today in History quiz. When did the NFL move the goalposts from the front of the end zone to the back of the end zone? 1969, 1974, 1979, or 1984?
Liked learning about Operation Eagle Claw and the Iran hostage crisis? Then you'll love this one about the release of American hostage Terry Anderson in Lebanon. Tap the screen to keep the story going on Today in History.